Hi guys. I'm making this video for a follow up of my previous video when I talked about the interview with Tommy and Extra Slope, the YouTuber from the UK. I'm making a follow up because that last video that I posted was my reaction from the first part of that interview. So I got done watching the second part, which was about 2 hours long, and I gained some respect for Tommy. I regained some respect for Tommy. And as I mentioned in my previous video, we didn't learn anything new, but that was referring to the first part. So in this second part, we did learn some new things. Tommy can't talk about everything for security reasons and other reasons. But Extra Slope, he asked a lot of questions. He did a good job. I'm sure he probably didn't ask him everything he wanted to, as I'm sure they had a conversation before they even went on about what to not ask and what to not ask. But I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I probably don't need to watch it again because I watched it and I came up with plenty of information, new information. As far as the cards go, oh, by the way that Extra Slope and Tommy went about this conversation, it was almost like they saw. I know they didn't, most likely, but it's almost like they watched my channels. I mean, my not my channels, my videos from my channel. Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm not trying to flatter myself, but the things they spoke about was almost like answering a lot of my concerns and a lot of the things I spoke about, which was weird. But I guess it was time to explain some of those things, which a lot of other people have asked the same things. I mean, though I'll stick to a lot of my assumptions. I mean, some of my outlooks will change from watching this video, but as far as as far as being released, I'm convinced from Tommy's sincerity in this interview, that the amico will. I mean, like I said, it had gone far enough. It had gone far enough for this thing to actually come on. It's got to happen. I mean, yes, mistakes were made. Yes, could have been approached differently. But I mean, as far as this thing has come, and for Tommy to come on and do that interview and to answer a lot of the things that the amico's going to be challenged with. He says that in the next few weeks there's going to be information. He didn't say an actual release date, obviously, because they'll announce that. But he did say Q1 of 2022. He did say that the founders will get theirs first. So he did say games like Astro Smash are 100% complete and ready. He did speak of games like Earthworm Jim that that are about a year away, over a year away, but did talk about them and did say there's things in place for them. So, like I said, sometimes I think Extra Slope asked some questions that he kind of meant to ask differently. But like the boxed games, when he talked about the materials and this and that. That's not irrelevant to me, but doesn't mean nothing for me. But what I wish he had asked to him is when the system is released. I think he failed to ask. He did ask what games will be available when it releases beside the 8 games and the games that are on the console. But I think he wanted to maybe ask him what I was hoping he was going to ask him, and that is which of those games are going to be released in physical boxed editions besides. We didn't get that answer, but we did get he did shoot off a few other games that will be available and should be available on launch day or within weeks. So, and they did talk about that 6th game being a party game or something, or a group game or something like that. But like I said before, that those don't really have effect on me anyway. But I mean, if they're there, they're there, and I'm sure they'll be used a few times. Those features. They did talk about the Wii. What I did like about what Tommy said about the Wii, because I've mentioned this quite a few times. Let's not forget that the Amico controller is, and I've been saying this all along, and we all know this, but this is what the drawing point is. The games being geared for this controller in particular, even though these games will be available on other platforms, you won't be able to play them with a unique controller like this and added levels and stuff like that. So getting back to the controller, Tommy did say that when the Wii had the the sports games in place, like the bowling and the resorts and the resort game and all that, he did say, and I agree with this, that Sony, I mean not Sony, but Nintendo did kind of abandon the idea and stopped. I mean, yeah, they used the motion control in other games, but for like activity games, they could have went further with it. But they, like he mentioned, they had so many other things to worry about, other games, like the bigger games that and plus not only that, and he also mentioned the technology at the time when the Wii was released was limited more than today. So the Wii, obviously, the Wii controller obviously didn't have the screen. So this is a whole new way of experiencing it with the screen. So I mean, I do have high hopes for this as far as the controller goes, and the fact that they'll stick to games like this instead of worrying about bigger games to worry about. So again, I mean, like I said before, the Amico's definitely. I'm convinced that the Amico's definitely geared for me. Tommy solidified that today in that second part interview. I thought Tommy did a very, very well job in this interview. I think it was a little more believable, a little more trustworthy than earlier videos, like from over a year ago and up to a year ago. I think he came off very well. He explained mostly what he could, and I like that he didn't go any further when he couldn't. I mean, well, the one thing that was a little, the one thing to me that he said that was worrisome is when he said that, Sony and Xbox, and Nintendo have billions of dollars, and if they run into problems, they have the money to get out of it. Like he mentioned the Xbox having the ring of death or whatever, and how they were able to rebound off that. And if the Amico had a problem like that, it would probably be doomsday. So I mean, I don't think that, I don't, the system's made a lot simpler unless there's a bug problem that they don't catch or something like that. But I mean, I don't think something would happen, but that's the only negative I got out of it, is the fact that was kind of scary to hear, that if something happens, they won't be able to rebound. Extra Slope did ask. Oh, here's another thing that Extra Slope started to ask, and I was hoping for him to ask what I wanted him to, and he kind of asked it a different way. Was when he asked him if this thing gets released, but it's not successful for some reason, pretty much like months into it. I was hoping he was gonna ask him, would the game still, would the game, but he asked him if other companies can take over the games and release them, which that doesn't concern me. If they go to other systems, I don't care. The systems that I'm not getting anyway. My concern would be with the Amico. If it didn't last, would there be enough games? Which Tommy did say I forget what he actually said, but I thought he said there's like 50 games either, almost finished or in development to be released within months of the launch. Obviously, the Dolphin game and the Earthworm Jim game in particular, those two games, he did say those are like over a year off, away from being released. So those I'm not too worried about. I mean, if the systems is successful and it lasts that long, and those games eventually come out, then that's just a plus. But he did mention out of the 50 games, he mentioned games like Night Stalker and other games like that. So that's a bright note to know that there's games that are finished, even though there's no proof, because he said that they don't want to show any more videos. They don't want to make mistakes anymore. So there's no point in showing no more videos of Astro Smash finished or anything like that. But there are gonna one of the things they talked about is next week or 2 weeks is mid-November, I think he said, is the interface. They're gonna show the interface, so that's a plus. But like I said, Tommy sounded a lot more confident in this interview. He even blamed himself for things that I don't think he had to blame himself for, and that's the price. When Extra Slope started talking about the price increase to $250, $279 or whatever, I don't see the price being a problem at all. I mean, regardless of the moms or the other systems, something like that. I mean, definitely for me, it's not a problem because, like, I went to the Retro World Expo yesterday, like I mentioned, and I spent, you know how much it cost me to go to that? It cost me. I only spent a total of about $150, but that was including the entry, the parking. And all I bought for items was a Friday the 13th strategy book. It's a new one. Matter of fact, do I have it here? No, I don't have it right here right now, but I'll show it in another video. But that was $20. I picked up a Vinegar Syndrome movie for a 4K movie for my son for $35. And I picked up a couple magazines for $10. But I mean, just like that, just an example, I spent $150. And I only came home with a couple items. But like I said, I'm not complaining because the conversations that I had, the interactions I had alone are worth that. You know what I mean? Are priceless. But I'm just making an example of what we spend our money on today. I mean, $150 just to go to a retro show and come home with a few items. I mean, we're talking about a $250 system that has a two unique controllers. I mean, you can't really complain about the price, especially now. Like Tommy said, everything's gone sky high. Electronics, you know. So I mean, people are out there spending $1,000 on a cell phone, hundreds of dollars on tablets. I don't see 250 being a problem for a brand new system with a whole new idea. A small company too. I mean, like he was saying about the Sony and Microsoft that they sell their systems at a loss. I believe it because they make all their money afterwards on on software and downloads and accessories. Where a small company like this that's trying to come out with a simple system like this, charging $10 to $20, $5 for games, is not gonna be able to afford to take a loss on the system. I mean, are they making on a $250 system with those two controllers? What could their profit possibly be on that? I mean, $50? I don't know how much it's going to cost them to make the unit. I'm guessing it's going to cost them at least $100. So I mean, there's no complaint there. But I want to give thumbs up to Tommy, thumbs up to Extra Slope. I thought they were both great in this, especially in the second. Well, the whole thing, but the second part gave me a lot of answers. So though a lot of my theories are still there because Tommy did go on to talk about, after he blamed himself for the price increase, or not for the price increase, but for announcing the original price of 150 or whatever. So, and the dates, the second release date should have never been announced, and this and that. I mean, I'm gonna stick to a lot of my theories and opinions from my other videos, but this one was at least positive. I mean, a lot of positive came out of this, and I hope you all watched it and agree. But I mean, some of the things he talked about at the end about not so much the haters, which I'm gonna stop saying haters, cult, this, that. This has gone far enough, I think. I mean, Tommy even sincerely asked, go ahead and dislike the amico, hate the amico, but don't hate the people that are excited for it. Don't hate Tommy's family. Don't threaten bomb threats and threaten to shoot him. Or I mean, I don't even know how anyone's getting away with that, really, if that's actually happening. I'm sure I'm surprised that's going on. I mean, who could call a place and say we're gonna come there with guns if you don't cancel it, or I mean, and not there's no investigation for that. I don't understand that. But whoever out there is doing that, it's not for me to address, but I just sincerely ask you to not do it, to reconsider. And I mean, even to the haters, I know the normal haters, give this guy a little bit of slack. I mean, he asked pretty kindly for a guy that's trying his hardest. He's gone this far. He could have, if his plan was to scam, it would have already happened. I mean, it wouldn't have came this far. Give this guy credit for taking it this far. He even said, "I can't believe we're even still here." I mean, he must have a good team on his side for him to say that, and for that to be reality, that they're still here. He's still here, and he still wants to do this, and it's close. I mean, after all them delays, and after all this, we haven't heard nothing in a while. Even though we don't have an exact date yet on anything, but he did talk about showing the interface within a few weeks. He is going to have another showing in Boston, Mass. He did give us an idea of a release date. I mean, he said Q1 of 2022. Why would he say that? The Extra Slope didn't ask him, give me an exact, be almost exact. I mean, he could have said, I don't want to answer that, or he could have said maybe 10/10 of next year. But at this point, if he was able to say Q1 of 2022, and for him to claim that there's games finished 100%, then I don't have any reason to believe that this is not going to happen now. So I may have been wrong, but with that said, there's still this big hump, this big hill to climb. He even said it himself, and that's to get to the target audience. He did say the founders will get theirs. The pre-orders will get theirs. He mentioned GameStop. So I don't know if it'll have a big release like I was saying earlier, like in every stores on the shelves. But obviously pre-orders through these stores, it sounded like we'll get fulfilled. I don't see the higher. I don't see a problem with the higher price on the premium ones, like he was saying on the red one, and the purple one, and the wood grain one, and then you get a $50 gift card. So it pretty much comes down to the same $250. So the price, I don't think should be a problem for anybody. Because of what I said, other things that we spend money on, that's not really a high price. You can't compare this to an Evercade, even that home released one that's coming out. I mean, that's simply like almost like a retro pie, but with cartridges. I mean, yeah, the games are $20 and you get like 10, but those games have been done so many times. They're on so many ways of playing those games. So you can't compare an Evercade to this. This is a console, like a true new console with controllers like that. I don't know what else I wanted to say. I just wanted to pretty much do a follow-up of my previous video that I did. I have now viewed the 2-hour second part, and just correcting some of the stuff from my other video that this was a positive interview. So I don't know. So I don't know if we're back to square one or not, but I think we've made a little progress here. Here's my little diagram of the controller, if you like that. Anyway, I'm glad to be laughing. I'm glad to be smiling. Give Tommy some credit. I don't know why people hate this guy so much. The guy does come down as everybody's made mistakes in their lives, including me and you. We have all had second chances. We've all been jerks at some point. Um, let's not be hypocrites here. Let's not hate this guy because he's been cocky or because he's been successful or because you don't like the way his face looks. I don't know. I mean, to me, he's he seems genuine and he seems like he's wants to go through with this. He wants to reach this dream that he's had. And why are we hating him for that? Why does anybody hate the guy for that? I mean, like I said, maybe you hate him for reasons in the past. But like I said, everybody deserves extra chances. Hate is a. Let's start reflecting on that word because hate is a pretty strong word. I was told by my mother. I mean, I know we all say I hate you, and I growing up, I said that to my mother probably. I hate you because she wouldn't let me have something or let me go do something But you know what? When it's used towards a person that much, where you're threatening the person's family or you're messaging his wife and her family, and you're making bomb threats to events, that's going a lot too far. I mean, if you want to be a hateful person, you must be like that for everything. I mean, I hate things too in the world, but I don't agree with everything in the world either. I might not. I might hate the music you listen to. I might, but I don't harass you over it. I don't contact your family over it. So, with that said, I mean, just try hard. Even if you're not interested in this, if you just enjoy doing the content, and you have your fingers crossed, hoping that this is not successful, just so you could say, "See, I told you so." Whatever. I mean, there's other things to worry about. You like the things you like. No one's harassing you over liking it. Tommy doesn't even hate you. Tommy has a lot more on his shoulders right now than to worry about who hates him. That's how I look at it. So, I mean, give the guy some slack. Give him a break. Even the haters out there, come on. I mean, leave the guy alone. Leave his family alone. Who knows? You may want this. You may eventually want to try this out, and you may like the concept. I mean, for you guys to even be involved in this amico talk, you must have been interested at some point because you're a video gamer, and some of you like those classic games. No matter what your age is. So I don't know. That's all I got to say on this follow up. So I mean, God bless everyone, and behave. That's all I can say. Try to behave. Try to be good to one another. But give Tommy a break. Let's see what happens. All right. All right. Peace.